Been in recovery for nearly 5 years. I'd like to say that my story started on the 1st of May 2013. However, it starts many years before then. I was a very troubled young man, and by the time I was 17, I was given my first spell in prison for criminal damage and breaking into cars. Back then, I can't recall if there was a youth offending team or anything like that. So I was released from prison and found myself living on the streets with no support from family, friends or services. My life continued like this, and soon I had spiraled out of control. I had severe addiction problems and mental health challenges. I found myself standing in front of magistrates or judges on a regular basis and served many prison sentences. This became the norm to me, and before long I was a troubled man who did not know anything apart from committing crimes to feed my addiction. After all, the drugs and alcohol would help me with all the bad thoughts in my head, wouldn't they? They didn't. This went on for 20 plus years: prison, hospital, alcoholism, drug addiction, 7 acres, until my mind and body had shut down. Even after spells in hospital due to my internal organs shutting down, I would discharge myself as soon as I felt a little better, so I could carry on drinking, taking drugs, and before long reverting back to crime. Life was a living hell, and the only way out I thought was to take my life and end it all. After all, I didn't think there was help out there. I did not trust a soul to ask for help, and maybe I felt like this because I've been let down all my life, and this is something I still think about to this day. There is a great saying: only look back to see how far you come. This is great. However, in my opinion, it's good to look back and reflect and pull on life's lived experience so you can pass it on and give people hope. This is what I try to do now. I know, as I no longer feel like a troubled man. In 2013, on May the 1st, my life changed. I had not long been discharged from 7 acres. I was sat down on the grass ready to have my first drink of the day, when something happened. After a friend made a comment along the line of, if you drink that lager, you will never stop drinking, and before long you end up dead. Something clicked in my head, and I had this really overpowering feeling that something happened to me. I still can't explain to this day what happened, but something did. And I thought my life could not end. And in that instant, I remembered something a nurse had said to me in 7 acres. The nurse had told me there was some help if I wanted it at a place called Butler Gardens. I asked if I could go there and was accepted to stay there, and soon became a full-time resident. Every day I was working on my recovery. A support worker there gave me a relapse prevention course, and I've done that in my room every night. I also attended 12-step programs on the island and the mainland, and soon started learning about my triggers and learning about why I was committing crime and using substances. I also connected with a service that is sadly no longer on the island called Cranston, and completed many courses. They include discernment courses, overdose prevention and awareness, relapse prevention, who am I, my map of the world, alcohol and me, choosing well, and mindfulness. This helped me to understand my addiction problems, and build a strong foundation for my recovery and well-being. While I was connecting with Cranston to get the help with my addiction problems, I felt I needed to connect with a mental health service to help with my mental health challenges, so I connected with Key House. I completed a wellness recovery action plan course and an emotional coping skills course, and I carried on practicing mindfulness and worked on the Key House allotment. I found being around like-minded people very helpful and rewarding. It was so important to be busy and feel valued by my peers and support network. It was not long after getting the help that I needed that I discovered my passion, and I knew that I wanted to help people that have had the same or similar problems as myself. So me and some friends got together and put a social group together called Clean Breaks. This was for people who wanted to socialise without substances. I'm happy to say Clean Breaks was a success. I carried on with Clean Breaks for around 18-20 months. I then left because of personal differences and the fact that I was busy connecting with other groups in the community. I came a volunteer for Nature Therapy CIC. I also reconnected with Key House, which was now called My Time, and became a volunteer there and facilitated the allotment group. I started to feel like I was giving a bit back and enjoying my life and living once again. While at Nature Therapy and My Time, they helped me pass a number of qualifications. These include Level 2 Emergency First Aid, Level 3 Therapeutic Skills, Level 3 in Education and Training, and my Sports Leadership Award. I also connected with people on the mainland and learned how to deliver acceptance commitment therapy groups. Recovery is all about choice and people believing in you and connection. That is how I grew. I found the more I put myself out there, the more people believed in me and offered me more help and opportunities. At one point, I was volunteering to 4 organisations: the Youth Offending Team, Seeds for Change, Family Therapy, Nature Therapy, CIC, and My Time. With their help, I learnt many new skills and completed lots of other training that was offered to me because I was a good volunteer. I was made to feel valued and listened to, and most of all, I was shown from the organisations I volunteered for and valued by the people I worked with. For the first time in my life, it felt as people were believing in me, trusting me and understanding me. I can proudly say now, proudly say I am no longer that troubled man. I'm a man who has been in recovery on the 1st of May 2018 for 5 years. I'm a man who has reconnected with his family after 20 plus years. I'm a man who has real plans. My passion is to save lives and help people start their journeys of recovery. And one day, I want to open a rehabilitation house that will help people in all walks of life. I'm currently working for the Richmond Fellowship as a recovery support worker at their new out-of-hours mental health service called the Safe Haven. This is a full-time post and I love it. I love it. I'm still a volunteer for Nature Therapy and the Salvation Army. I'm a step-parent, a parent, and we'll be getting married later on in this year. I have good friends, a good support network. And my life for me and my family was the best it's ever been. It's the best it's ever been, and I'm thankful to everyone who's helped me to get to this place in my life. I was given a chance and choices and took them, and I believe if we can give people chance, choices and hope, this will be the way to help them live a life free from committing crime, free from the chains of addiction, and a life with a healthy well-being. Let's focus on people's strengths. Let's give people good relationships with their support workers and peers. Everyone is individual, and so is their journey of recovery and rehabilitation. So let's offer them the support they need. Let's reward them when they have done good and explain when they have made a mistake. Let's be fair to them and pull on their internal strengths. And most of all, let's show people hope and believe in people. Everyone deserves a second chance, and everyone deserves to get the help and support that they need to better their lives. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thank you, Mark. Hang around a minute, both of you guys.